Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Podcast, episode 33. We are back for the 2021 Gopher football season. Not just Gopher football, but college football is back. NFL football is back. Oh, we are so damn excited. Welcome to another podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jason O.
And I am Griffin Most.
And today, unfortunately, we are short staffed. Only myself and Griffin are available for a podcast, but that's all right. Fortunately, we'll see Laurens and Wyatt throughout the season, so don't worry. They'll be back, but we'll have a very tamed podcast for you today. So, looking ahead here, I don't want to bring the bear of bad news, but we're going to recap the unfortunate 2020 season. So as it implies, we had a not so great season. Again, it was during the height of COVID-19. No vaccines were out. High cases were in full swing. But we did conclude the 2020 season at 3-4. Just to look at our current list here on the schedule, our first game of the season was Michigan. It was I'd say, Griffin, a close first half to that game. It was closer than it was, but then of course Michigan sort of ran. No, not sort of. They ran away with the game at the second half. Then Maryland lost on overtime, 44-45, missing the extra point.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, and then next up, we won finally against the Illini, which was a blowout, 41-14. And then Lovie Smith, I think, got fired that season. Then Iowa, we lost 7-35. With Laurens would agree, Kirk Ferentz essentially became petty at the tail end of that game. Then we won against Purdue on I would say, it was a controversial call, but I'll take our win. So
I think Laurens, and he kind of chirped me for it too, but Laurens would agree that was a good flag.
yeah,
I remember Laurens saying that was a good flag.
yeah,
But anyway, it's over. It's in the past.
yep.
We're going to move on.
Yep, and we won that game, so it doesn't matter. And then we had two canceled games after that. So at Wisconsin was canceled due to not enough players with the Gophers due to COVID protocol. Same thing with Northwestern. And so the next game action our team would return to would be against Nebraska at Lincoln, winning 24-17. Close game again. I think we only had 6 offensive linemen available that game, or 5 total. And then of course our championship weekend games were against due to the cancellation against Wisconsin, which we lost unfortunately in 17-20 in overtime. But we cut honest. I wasn't watching the game in depth. I was in the middle of the Rocky Mountains driving through curvy roads to get to our hotel for a ski trip during that game. So I will say during the spotty reception, I'd say that was a close game. And it just had to be kicker woes that had to do it for us at that game.
Yeah, I didn't watch too much myself, but I did end up watching the end with the field goal, and obviously it was painful, but at the same time, Wisconsin probably deserved to win that because it just seemed like they wanted it a little bit more. But I'm just looking forward to a year now that that's all in the past of, no extreme COVID protocols, and back to having our, first string guys back into the game and ready to go.
Yeah, and I will note this as well. What's changed now versus the 2020 season is that I don't care what your political standings are, even though this topic is controversial in terms of the political side. The vaccinations are helping. I will say that vaccines are being very crucial into reducing COVID tracking protocols, and essentially herd immunity. So take it as you will about the vaccine, but I would say it's working some way and somehow for the benefits of the teams playing this season, and we gotta take it as a plus. So, going actually going back to the 2020 season, Griffin, I'd say I was expecting a down year. I know I drank a little bit of Kool-Aid at our first podcast last season that I think we'll go 8-0. But when I saw the COVID tracking situation, such as, our like we lost Daniel Failele like that season just because of its concerns for COVID. We didn't know Curtis Dunlap Jr. was injured tail end of the 2019 season, like after the bowl game, like he had an operation. And again, like at Nebraska, we only had up to 5 or 6 healthy offensive linemen to play against Nebraska. And also in Michigan, we lost our punter, starting kicker, and all of our other like special teamers, specialists that one game and throughout the season too. So I'd say despite the COVID situation, I think we somehow pieced together a season that can be crucial for growth for like the young players, like Cody Lindbergh, our guy that you and I love from Minnesota, from Anoka, was his first season as a rookie starter and somehow made the best of it. And from what I've seen, and then Boye grew. Who was another one on the defensive line? Dang it, I'm trying to remember.
Asezi
Uh,
Atomawa, or
not
MJ Anderson?
not Asezi.
Not MJ?
D'Angelo Carter.
Oh, D'Angelo Carter, yeah.
Yes, D'Angelo
Number
Carter was
99, big boy.
99 big boy. He was my favorite on the D line. Like this, despite like the pressure that the D line can't produce, D'Angelo Carter just in there was a monster when he was on the field with Asezi and Boye. But that's just my takes from last season. I think it was like I was expecting a down year. Unfortunately, it was a down year, but unfortunately, COVID, stopped many things that we think this team is capable of last season. But I don't know. That's my takes from last season.
I think you could look at it. It could have been even for teams that may have done well, they might have just viewed it as a down year, just overall, given the situation. But I think it's good that now that our maybe third and fourth stringers that we're playing are realizing like, hey, it's the whole next man up mentality, which is why Wisconsin is so good, is they can just plug anybody in and boom, they play. Like these third and fourth string guys were getting reps last year that half of us didn't even know their names or like what they were even capable of. But now they're out here getting reps. It's healthy. It's good for them. No one really expected too much out of them. We didn't, I don't think, got too much out of them, but hey, they got game time. They got experience. That's what they needed. And now we're just moving on to this year.
Yep. And I say the tape too. I remember the Nebraska game. We had 5 or 6 offensive linemen. One of the offensive linemen was one of our like big dudes who we recruited, like in the 2019 recruiting class or 2018 recruiting class, a redshirt freshman or actual freshman. He came in and worked. Like I was surprised he was able to pancake some of the Nebraska defensive D line, despite having little to no Big Ten football experience. So I'd say I agree. Third, fourth string guys are stepping up, and I think they learned a valuable lesson, despite not getting the results they wanted, a 3-4 record, and then the team deciding to forego the bowl game last season. But it's in the past. So let's head on to the 2021 season. So we have several games this upcoming season. Fortunately, full schedule. We're going to play all 12 games, hopefully. And unfortunately, I'm going to be the old alumni about this, man. It will forever and always shall be TCF Bank Stadium.
Well, I think even though we don't want to share the name with U.S. Bank, we can always just call it the bank. We can just have both of them referred to as the bank.
Yep. But due to if any of you fans have been unaware, TCF was acquired by Huntington Bank Stadium, or not by Huntington Bank. So now it's going to be moving forward, Huntington Bank Stadium, and this was approved by the Board of Regents for the University of Minnesota. So it has a new name, but we will call it the Bank. So we have 12 full games, and we'll be previewing our first game of the season, which is against currently number 4 ranked The Ohio State University. This team is returning a lot of key pieces, but I will note this. Ryan Day is still the head coach. I think he won the Big Ten last season, correct? Yes, they won the Big Ten last season with Justin
Yep,
Fields.
against Northwestern.
Yep. And then got close to the national championship, but lost in the semis. Yeah, they lost semis, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Clemson. Wait, no. Dang it. Who were the 2020 playoff teams? Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame,
Alabama.
Alabama. Yep. There we go.
Can't forget about Alabama.
Bam. But yeah, Ohio State's head coach is still there, Ryan Day, and the key thing I took away about Ohio State is that they have a new quarterback starting for them. They no longer have Justin Fields, who has played for them for 2 seasons, the 2019 season and the COVID-riddled 2020 season. So their experienced starter at quarterback is gone. A good chunk of their offensive line is gone, particularly offensive guard Wyatt Davis was drafted by our own Minnesota Vikings. So him, along with I think 1 or 2 more offensive linemen from the Ohio State starting offensive line, have graduated. A few other on the defense have also graduated as well. So there's been some turnover since the 2019 season, like names that Griffin and I, Laurens, and Wyatt are very familiar with, like J.K. Dobbins, and all these other great players from Ohio State are gone. But I'd say that's to our benefit. We're dealing with a very young quarterback or quarterbacks, plural, depending on who they start, from Ohio State, and I think that's gonna be our key thing is making this quarterback very uncomfortable this season, and we got also get past a very stout and reloaded offensive line from Ohio State.
Yeah, I'd say the pros for the Gophers in this number 4 Ohio State matchup, the big one would definitely be that this quarterback has not thrown a collegiate pass. The cons is literally it's Ohio State. No matter who's going to be starting, whether it's a true freshman quarterback that hasn't thrown a pass, or couple year experienced veteran like Justin Fields, who can just throw behind your DBs at any given moment, they're always going to be good. I mean, CJ Stout, this guy was a 5-star prospect who was rated as the nation's number 2 pro style quarterback and a top 50 player. I mean, he did well in his spring game too, 16 of 22 for 185. He was only named the starting quarterback like 2 days ago, or maybe it was even yesterday.
Yeah, it's very recent. Apparently, from what Ryan Day noted, it was a very strong competition for the quarterback, for the starting quarterback role and first team reps. So yes, this dude will be starting for Ohio State against us week 1 or week 0 or something like that.
Well, he must have. I can't remember for sure because I didn't watch a lot of Ohio State games, but he had to have appeared in some of the games last year, at least just a little bit, if they just handed the ball off to somebody. Because they played like Rutgers, Michigan State, so I'm assuming in those 2 games they probably blew them out. And I can't imagine Fields was in more than 3 quarters, but I'd have to look at it.
But yeah, it's possible. But again, our memories are so bad because we're trying to forget about this past COVID year or year and a half. So, but no, I think this is going to be a strong showcase for the Gophers. So, the fortunate part about our team coming back, we're on offense. Here's our returning stars at running back 1, Mohamed Ibrahim. Oh wait, no, hang on. For Laurens, Mohamed Ibrahim, the runaway locomotive.
Nailed it.
Yep. The Big Ten running back of the year, correct? Last season.
Correct.
Is returning.
The one that had like 10 touchdowns in like 4 games or something, Jason?
Yeah, in the limited games he played, he was just like, again, a runaway locomotive. during the season. So he returns. Uh, as for the running back room behind him, Trey Potts and Cam Wiley split time at RB2 and 3. With Trey Potts unfortunately dealing with, I believe, injuries last year as well. So experience coming back in that running back room. Then on quarterback, we have our starter Tanner Morgan. I think returning for his senior season with the Golden Gophers, leading us to that amazing 2019 season. Regressed a little, of course, in the 2020 season, as we expected. But he is back. He is a very experienced quarterback, and especially in the Big Ten West, he is the most experienced quarterback alongside, I think, Adrian Martinez in the West. Behind them is being Graham Mertz from Wisconsin and Spencer Petras from Iowa. Illinois and Northwestern will be introducing new starters this upcoming season.
Here are your news headlines from WC.
Oh. And then offensive line. Oh, everyone's back, man. John Michael Schmitz, Connor Olson for a super season, Blaze Andrews, Daniel Fa'alele, Curtis Dunlap Jr., and the dudes that were like filling in for them during the past 2020 COVID season are all back. Like we have all starters from either the 2019 season or some in the 2020 season are back. They're ready to go. They're hungry. The Minnesota Moving Company is all back.
If Muhammad does not get it, or if he does not average at least 6 yards per carry this season, I am going to be disappointed with that offensive line.
Yeah. But yeah, experience coming back in the offensive line. Tight end, we are returning Brevin Spanford, the guy that we've been hoping that will become the TJ Hawkinson for the Gophers or Noah Fant, but so far we haven't seen it yet. And unfortunately, this was actually more recent news. I believe Bryce Witham retired from football.
Yes.
So unfortunately, the Witham is no longer with us. When he played for us, at Tampa, that one-handed catch to seal the game.
Well, he had two really good catches that game.
Yeah, the touchdown by Seth Green, and then the one-handed grab from Tanner Morgan for that to seal the game. Correct?
Unrelated, but I'm still bothered that on like a first and goal on like the one, we couldn't punch it in 3 times.
I know.
It took a pass from the 1 yard line to get it. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, the fourth down touchdown. Well, that was a great roll, and then that on the tip of his fingers. Hauls it in. Two catches, both in the Outback Bowl, both crucial plays, sealed the game. My lord,
Very
Bryce,
awesome.
We will miss you.
Yes.
You will be missed.
But besides Brevin Spanford, Cole Keith is also back, I believe, for his senior season.
The Red Rocket.
Correct.
Woo!
And then behind them, I will be quite honest, I have no clue who are the rest of the tight ends in this group. Again, Brevin and Cole is our, I say, most experienced guys on that side of the team or in that position group. And then, of course, wide receiver, with unfortunate news on this one, Chris Aubin-Bell is our lone returning starter who has the most game day experience, but he did suffer a leg injury in practice a week or two ago, and PJ noted it is week to week, and it may be soon day to day until our game against Ohio State. But if we lose him, we lose essentially our most experienced and best starter on the wide receiver core. Of course, we like to hype these guys like Daniel Jackson and the guys behind Daniel over on the or Mike Brown Stevens, the nephew of the John Legend. But I'm concerned with the injury for sure. But I think we have a very raw wide receiver room again, and that we're going to need one of these dudes to step up, like similar to Rashad Bateman or Tyler Johnson in past years. But yeah,
I think Daniel Jackson, I think, will definitely be that guy. At least this year for the Gophers, I think you'll see a lot more playing time. I think Clay will probably be thrown in as like maybe like a 4-string wide receiver 4. Just kind of throw him in for a down every couple of
Clay
possessions.
Geary, right?
Yeah, is that what I said? That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, Clay. Yeah. So probably well, if Chris is out, I think Clay might be the de facto wide receiver 3 in the slot potentially. So in terms of experience, quarterback, running back, offensive line, and tight ends bring back multiple season starters. And wide receiver, I'm just going to give a non-answer for that until we learn more about Chris Abenbell. But we are returning a lot of offensive experience. Then on the defense, same thing. At linebacker, Mariano Story-Marin is back. Braylon Oliver is back from injury. Cody Lindbergh, who started last year, is also seems to be taking some first second team reps. So fighting for the other linebacker position. D line, Boye Mafe, D'Angelo Carter,
Thomas Rush, Asezi Otomoe, MJ Anderson, Jalen Logan Redding. I think he played a little bit last year.
Yep.
Don't know how much though.
Yeah, and we had that Notre Dame transfer. Is he still with us as well?
Yeah, Niles Pickney.
Yeah.
Is that him?
No,
yeah.
Not him.
Rashad Cheney.
Not Rashad Cheney. Who was the guy that replaced O.J. Smith or Simpson a couple years ago during PJ's first season?
O.J. Simpson? Did you say O.J. Simpson?
My bad. O.J.
Micah Treadway?
Yeah. Is Micah still with us, or he graduated?
I think this would be his last year.
Okay. So yeah, Micah Treadway, I think it's still on the roster, but I could be wrong. But that's the D line alone. That's coming back, who played 2019 and or the 2020 seasons. That's D line linebackers. Secondary. I blanked on his name. Terrell Smith is back.
He better be, because he showed some promise.
Yes, Terrell Smith. Who sealed the Penn State game?
Oh, Jordan Howden.
Jordan Howden's also back for his extra season. Coney Durr is also back as well. I know he was really wanting to improve draft stock last year, but with the NCAA giving another year eligibility, Coney Durr took that opportunity, I believe. So Coney, Jordan Howden, and Terrell Smith, we believe, are back. And then some probably new faces on the side of the ball as well.
We had Solomon Brown played a little bit last year, number 7. And then we also had Justice Harris.
Yeah, Justice Harris as well. So we're bringing back some experienced guys for sure on the D-line. And
we can't forget about Tyler Nubin, too.
Oh, Tyler Nubin. So many players that played the last 2 seasons, but excited for. Actually, I'm just excited about this roster. If my key thing is, I just want Joe Rossi and Mike Sanford to unload at this game, use the plays that our teams can play best and well, and then. I think Griffin, you know what I'm looking forward to, particularly at quarterback with Tanner Morgan?
What?
Is that now that he had already 1 season under Mike Sanford's offense, that I want to see him take charge of an offense. Like if something is on the field that he doesn't like Mike Sanford called on the sideline, like on those poster boards that they usually do and hand signals, I want Tanner Morgan to audible. I remember the story from Urban Meyer where he saw, I think when he was at Florida, the team he was playing against for the national championship made an audible call, a check, which they changed their defense and they stopped Urban Meyer's offense on that first down, and it can convert. That's what I want to see from Tanner Morgan. If he sees something that he doesn't like on that play or before they snap the ball, I want him to audible or at least adjust something. Take more management of the offense, because I think maybe because I'm too used to NFL football where they have to make adjustments on the line, but I want to see more of that, because I think if Tanner can do that with the current offense that Mike has, I think it would be of great growth to Tanner, but also his draft stock, since this is his last season.
I would agree. I think that being able to audible and read the defense is a very important part of being a quarterback. And if you can make those adjustments on the fly and prove, not necessarily prove your coach is wrong, but show that you can make smart decisions, that would definitely improve your draft stock. So
Yep. There's that on Tanner for me. But I don't know. I will be quite honest. Again, I haven't been following Gopher football as I usually did in the past religiously. So I have expectations for this team. Like, again, we have great with the roster that we have, and all of our coaches did return for the Gopher staff as well. Mostly like coaches wise, I think we have a shot to win the Big Ten West, but that's me being optimistic about this. Like, I don't know what to expect from our current roster. Again, we returned a lot of experience, but I don't know what to expect. Like, are we going to expect a 2020 like season where we losing these close games because of special teams, or are we going to have a 2019 season where we just pull it out of our hat several times?
I wouldn't necessarily say pull it out of our hat, because I think we still had a very solid foundation in our defense still. But yes, I get what you mean.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to for this Ohio State game?
I am just looking forward to a very close football game. I just want to see Ohio State, even if we lose, I hate saying this, but even if we lose, like maybe we're up 14 points at some point, I want to see Ryan Day confused. I want to look on their sideline and see their coaches in distress. Like, what is this Golden Gopher team doing right now that is making us look bad?
Yeah. Like the when Urban Meyer, I don't want to poke fun at this. I don't intend it, but like when Urban Meyer had his like head head injury or a head operation, like cyst, I believe, that was affecting him during games, where like just see him hunched over, like looking at the play. Like, I want to see Ryan Day in that kind of distress as well. Like, just like looking over, like, what the hell are we not doing right against this team? Yeah.
I also want to see our defense make CJ Stout very uncomfortable. I want them to hit him legally and hard, emphasis on legally, but I want him to feel like he's not welcome inside a Big Ten stadium. Because, I mean, he is going to be more of a dual threat quarterback, and I think historically we have not done well against dual threat quarterbacks. So as long as we can get Boye, Pickney, Carter, Braylon Oliver, get a hand in his face, get a helmet to his side. I don't care. Get him on the ground, and make some good plays on him. I don't really know what to expect yet until I kind of see the team that we have this year, and Ohio State will be a good test. There's no easing into this season. It's
go hard. Go hard or go home. Essentially.
Exactly.
Actually, if there's one player I want to see improve, and not by like football tangibles, like, you know, as a starter, but I just want to see Mariano be the leader of the team, but also not having to do everything himself. Like last year, I think, I don't know, was it you, Laurence, or Wyatt that mentioned it? I felt like Mariano did do so much. Like, he was overdoing things that he from his his task on the field. Like he was always out of position. You know, because he's trying to compensate for like the third, fourth stringer that blew their assignment or missed their assignment, for example. And I think with this experienced defense coming back, and they know the communication now because he is the guy that makes the audibles on the field, I think Mariano, is poised for a step up from last season, because again, he I think the season before, like, you know, Mariano was doing it, but you had Antoine Winfield Jr., Carter Coughlin, Winston DeLadeir, Micah Treadway, and the other guys on that defense that knew what to do. versus what we had last year. So I think I'm excited to see Mariano just not be overwhelmed like he was this past season.
I kind of agree with that. Part of that too is I also just think he's a little bit slower too.
Mm-hmm.
On the defensive side of the ball, so I think he can easily be outrun at that second level of the defense. Because I mean, no one's going to be like Blake Cashman, right?
Yeah.
No one's going to be chasing Luke Falk in the backfield and sacking him on the crusty Holiday Bowl field in Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego.
Yeah.
No one's going to make those kind of plays, or Mariano will not be able to make those kind of plays. But if he can plug a gap, that's I think his best use.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for big things, at least for Mariano, because I think that's the player that came to mind for me on the defense. But of course, I'm excited for the D-line. They look nasty. But I don't want to mention this, and Wyatt is going to be very heartbroken. Special teams. Oh.
I'm not even going to say anything because I don't think it even matters what we think, because special teams is going to do what special teams wants to do.
Yeah, and Wyatt,
even if it's not what they want to do, it's going to happen anyway.
And for Wyatt and Laurence, our special teams coordinator is still with the team, Rob Wenger. So that's all. Yeah, if Wyatt and Laurence were here, they would probably be rolling in their chairs or beds and like, why the hell is he still here? But
but Jason, just remember, we're not kicking a single field goal this year. Our offense is going to be in the end zone every
drive.
Every red zone entry we get, we're going to the end zone, and there's no doubts about it.
Yeah, and also too, I'm assuming that our specialists are vaccinated, so hopefully they don't give us another COVID scare like they did last season, where we had our walk-on punter punt for us against Michigan. Oh, that was. I know that hurt. I know, like the guy was trying his best, but yeah, that hurt. But yeah, special teams will probably be a problem again. We'll see.
All I ask for in special teams is someone being able to kick a field goal longer than 35 yards.
Please.
I don't want Brock Walker shanking it wide right every single time.
Yeah, and I think Dragon from last season and Grant Ryerson both split duties in kicking in games, I believe, as well. I think Dragon actually did kickoffs and field goal kicks or extra points. And I just want someone that has that can not get the yips, as I've come to learn of that term when in kicking. And I think Brock and who was our kicker before that, who's wearing Emmett Carpenter's number. Dang it, I can't recall his name. But whoever is wearing Emmett's current number right now. Oh, Michael Lance.
Michael Lance, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know Lance had an injury. He came back, and then, of course, he was missing kicks. Brock was dealing with an injury, still making kicks. So the younger guys like Dragon and Ryerson, I think, should hopefully one of these guys step up. Because I think if we can, points matter, as you probably said too, Griffin, and especially with this game against Ohio State, I think we might need to get every point possible coming up. But other than that, the con I can think of, which is kicking and punting, I'd say I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for this Ohio State game. I will be in Florida and at Universal to have fun down there, but I'll be watching the game from YouTube TV or some sort of streaming app. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Do you want to do predictions? At least for you and I.
Oh God.
I have a spreadsheet here.
You need to have one of those like betting spreadsheets where you just take all that data and find out whether you take the over or the under. Oh God.
Hey, I still have this. So from in the 2019 season, you and Laurence tied for your predictions, I believe, because
Yeah, I was 8-0 the first 8 games.
Yes.
Then we had the week, and then I got every was it all of them? I think I got the last 4 games wrong.
Yes, and then of course, you say we will win the bowl game, so you win 9-3, the 2019 season. The Rons also went 9-3. Y and I tied also on 9-4. But then I lost track of the 2020 season, as usual, because that was a rough season.
I took a big L on that season anyway. I don't need to be reminded.
Yeah, but I said I'm very excited with this experience, this roster, and having our entire coaching staff back. This is Ohio State. Like I know you said you want to see Ryan Day and his staff, like, trying to figure out what the hell they can get past this Gopher team. But I'm giving this an L, man, unfortunately. Like, I want to give this W so bad, but I think Ohio State's just going to pull it out in the end, because they've done it before. They'll always do it. So
right.
I'm giving this game an L. I'm not sure what score. I'm thinking close game, so I'm thinking 24-31, and we get intercepted in the end zone during our last drive for the game to be sealed.
24-31. That's interesting.
I know it seems low, but I've been leaning towards that kind of scoring for a bit because of the 2020 season, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll lose 24-31 to Ohio State.
24-31. I am going to go with 30. We're going to take the L. 35-28. I think we're just going straight touchdowns for both teams. It kind of reminded me, I think, of the Michigan game to start last year. It just seemed like we gave up a touchdown, and then they gave up a touchdown, or maybe I think it's just going to be 35-28 loss. I just think both teams. I mean, just look at the Vikings last year when they opened against Green Bay. How bad our defense looked. Green Bay put like 40+ points up on our defense. I feel like that's how both of our defenses, or both Gophers and Ohio State's defense, are going to look. So it's going to be touchdowns galore. Everything's going to be +6 with an extra point. And I really hope I'm wrong, though. I hope we get the dub, but I just don't know.
Yeah, we just don't know coming in, but that's Ohio State. So it's gonna be. I'd say it's gonna be a fun game. I'm gonna try my best to enjoy it as much as we can while I'm away, and of course you'll be at the game, right, Griff?
As I know, yes.
Awesome. Sorry, I just sneezed. Allergy season has started back up for me, and I'm dying. But let's look ahead to the other games. So, on our schedule, so right after Ohio State, our week 2 game is going to be against Miami of Ohio. Then we'll be at Colorado. And then our last non-conference game will be against Bowling Green.
That's our homecoming game, I think, right?
Possibly. I just closed the schedule, and I'm too lazy to pull it back up.
Oh, yep, that's homecoming. Yep, we're good.
And then we return to Big Ten play at Purdue. Then we have a bye. Then we'll be at home against Nebraska and Maryland. We'll be at Northwestern. Then we'll return home versus the Illini. Then we are away for 2 more games against Iowa and Indiana. And then we will return to our final game of the season against the Wisconsin Badgers to close the season. So if you're okay, Griff, we're going to run through the schedule, give our early season predictions, just so we can get those categoried into our spreadsheet here.
Works for me.
I'm saying I'm going to lump all 3 of the non-conference games. I'm saying all dubs.
Yep.
Just I don't have a score in mind as of yet.
You can throw me down.
I'll
take 3 dubs as well.
All right, non-conference, all dubs. I will note though.
I think we've won. Haven't we won like 19 non-conference games in a row or
Correct.
something?
Correct, including the Auburn game during the bowl game we had 2 years ago too.
Yeah, we're a different breed up here in Minnesota.
Yep. I will note though. Remember the last time we played against Colorado at Colorado? We won in overtime. Remember that from the 2015 season?
Yeah, that was Mitch Leidner, right?
Correct, the Mitch Leidner era, or the
I think that was Mitch Leidner to Rodney Smith or something.
something like that to get the overtime win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something to note of. That's the last time we played them. Miami of Ohio, we played a couple years ago. I think it's still during PJ Fleck's tenure, for one of the MAC games that we have with them. So we played Miami of Ohio before.
Yep.
The new team that's new to us, Griffin, at least for Griffin and I, at least when we started the podcast here with the rest of the guys, we have not played Bowling Green. The only thing I know about Bowling Green was that was the team that Urban Meyer took as his like first major coaching job, and he just slaughtered like other teams in his conference and in non-conference play. So I really don't know what to make of the current Bowling Green team or their past seasons after Urban Meyer left, but like that's the only thing I have to connect Bowling Green and to recent memory or staffs or coaches or players.
I don't know anything, but we're just gonna blow them up in the end.
Yep, as usual. Then next up, we'll return again, like we said, we'll return to Big Ten play at Purdue. And I believe Jeff Brom is still there, right? He hasn't.
Yes, but I also can't remember if Purdue fired their defensive coordinator or not, because he was really bad in 2019. I'd have to look, but if Purdue's defense is as bad as it was, and I still think it will be, I'm going to say that's a dub as well.
You're saying a dub?
Saying a dub.
I'm saying a dub as well, but it's going to be like, I swear every Purdue game that we played so far has always been a close game.
Like, well, 2 years ago, we were blowing them out, and then we just had that fourth quarter comeback. We just handed that to them, and we're like, why did we only win by like 7 points?
Yeah. So I'm also going to say dub, but somehow if the final scores, it's just going to be a close game. But yeah, I'm saying dub as well. So we're right now 4-1 with you and I. So then we have a bye. Of course, we win the bye every time. After the bye, we return home with Nebraska. I'm going to say it, Griffin, and I know your answer too. Dub. I want to see Scott Frost's Nebraska Cornhuskers get slacked again by PJ Fleck.
That's my hot take. He gets fired this year.
Yep. Oh, I did. I know I said off air that I didn't watch much of the Big Ten Media Days, but I did watch that clip of Scott Frost throwing shade at PJ, and I'm like, at least his slogans and catchphrases work. Just saying. But
he
also
needs to stop being the old man.
Yeah, but also he lost like a bunch of players too. Like what was it? J.D. Spielman transferred to I think TCU.
Correct.
A few other players transferred out or left the program.
Was Wandale Robinson one of them?
I think so. Or unless he's still there. No, yeah, I think Wandale also left. Unless he's still there. And then I think Adrian Martinez is like unsure if he's going to be starter or not because. Luke McCaffrey left as well. The brother of Christian McCaffrey, who played last year, split time with Adrian Martinez, also transferred out. And I don't care about Luke because he transferred to like 2 different schools after he left Nebraska anyway. So I don't care about him.
Right. He went to I think he went to what was it, like Kentucky or something in Kentucky,
and then transferred out. And then transferred out again.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be a starter. I'm going to transfer. Like, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
okay. So Wandale Robinson was the one that transferred to Kentucky. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, got it. But yeah,
big loss for that.
I just want PJ and our Gophers to slack him, like, and then hopefully he gets fired. And then they hire someone bad again.
That would be ideal.
And then next up, we're playing Maryland at home.
God.
I want to say dub.
Dub, because we're not going to have our crappy COVID defense.
Yeah, but also
I feel like half of these games, they're just me being like, okay, our defense isn't as bad, so we're going to be much better.
But also too, I swear it looks like Mike Loxley's offense for Tagovailoa is literally like Tua's when he was at Alabama, like a carbon copy. Like I don't see Mike Loxley being that creative offensive mind that people are making him out to be. I don't know why people think that way. Like I think he can be a good coordinator, but no, Mike Loxley does not have anything special, in my opinion. But that's
I don't know. Stephon Diggs seems to like him, so I think that says
True.
something.
But dub, no, I don't want to. We're not going to lose like we did last year, missing the extra point to lose 44-45.
Well, just letting him come back from like a 21-point deficit in the fourth quarter anyway. In general, we're not going to let that happen.
Nope, not again. Next up, we are at Northwestern.
Al, just
yeah,
just give me L.
I'm taking the L too. I don't like our chances against Pat Fitzgerald. But I don't know. We're saying L now because is it Edmonton? Evanston, my bad.
Evanston, yes.
Because like historically, we've always lost in Evanston.
Correct.
Even before the PJ Fleck era, we lost during the Crazy Clays, Jerry Kill era. I don't remember much about the Funky Brewster era, but we haven't done well in Evanston, so I'll take that L as well.
Well, we did well a couple years ago.
Yeah, 2019. And that was the game where we thought Tanner Morgan might not play because he had a concussion from that Iowa game that we lost a week before.
Right.
But yeah, L. We're taking the L.
Yep. Just give it to me now.
Then after Northwestern, we'll be back against the Illini at home against Brett Bielema's first season at
Slaughtered.
W.
I think they lost Jake Hansen this year, their linebacker.
Yeah, they lost a lot of people when they fired Lovey, and then when they brought in Brett Bielema as their head coach. Then next up, we are at Iowa.
Well,
yeah, no, because if I'm looking at this, so we get our first 3 wins, right, and we beat Purdue, beat Nebraska, Maryland, and Illinois. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 7-2 with our 2 losses to Northwestern, Ohio State. We're going to be at some rank probably, maybe not. But if we are ranked, we're going to get our asses whooped in Kinnick like we usually do.
Yeah, we'll probably get ranked that Illinois game after we destroy them, and then we'll lose it the next week after we lose to Iowa, like 17-14. But because it was a close game, they don't like us. And just because on the stat sheet it shows a loss, they're not going to give a 3-loss team a ranking. So that's just how it goes.
But they'll give
we'll lose Indiana again.
But then they'll give it to like a group of 5 team or some other team that's not in a group of 5 that spot.
Some SMU. SMU.
Yep. And also, I'm willing to bet it's going to be a night game.
I would also think that would be the
thing. Next is Indiana. I know what Wyatt says about us against Indiana at Indiana. I think Wyatt is taking the L. I would say no. I'm going to say dub against.
No, L.
You say L too? All right.
Yeah.
I'm saying dub.
Remember, he's the truther.
You're right. No, the reason I say W is that I know Indiana has a good team, and so do we. But I think it's going to be a close game, and we'll take the W. It's just a gut feeling that I'm getting right now, but that's fine. Hey, our rankings differ finally, Griff. Then last game of the season, week 13, we are against the Wisconsin Badgers. What do you say to
W.
that?
Give me that W. We're coming back.
I'm going to say W as well, and we'll get the axe back, and we'll somehow put Graham Mertz to the ground.
That's what we're talking about.
So to get our total stocks, so 7, 8, 9. So I predict a 9-3 regular season record, and then you predict a 4, 5, 6, 7, an 8-4 overall record for our Golden Gophers.
That is damn right.
So what that means, either way, with our records, assuming we're right, we will go bowling because it is a 6-game eligibility. But do you think? Well, 8-4 is the record, but we go. I think we go even in Big Ten play because we win Purdue, we win Nebraska, win Maryland, we win Illinois, but we both also agree Wisconsin, but we lose to, at least what you said, Indiana, Iowa, with Northwestern and Ohio State. So that's 4-4 in Big Ten play, and I don't think that will get us anywhere close to taking first place in the West, unless somehow miraculously all the teams get 4-4 and they have to do something without the head-to-head. But I don't think we're gonna make the Big Ten championship with that record, especially in
Probably
Big Ten
not.
Play.
But I think 8-4 is a good. I hate sounding like that Gopher fan that's just settling for now and just because and using stuff as an excuse to get better. But I think 8-4 is going to be a good measurement of where we can go.
Yeah,
we start 8-4 this year, then we have to be there's no staying the same and going another Bo Pelini 8-9 win season for the next 3 seasons. This needs to be 8-4, 10-2, 12-0.
yeah. But yeah, I'd say that's not a bad record, and we'll go to a good bowl game. Hey, when we went 8-4, our sophomore year, that was a fun San Diego trip. I'll say that.
That was indeed.
Yeah, so I don't mind another Holiday Bowl appearance or any other bowl game. Is Outback? No, not Outback Bowl. Is that what's that bowl after New Year's Day that Indiana played? The Gator Bowl. Is that still around for the Big Ten?
Yeah.
I'll settle for that.
When was the Red Box Bowl? I think no, that was before New Year's Day. Because I think Indiana went to the Red Box Bowl a couple years ago. They were 5-7 or 6-6 or something.
Yeah, because they didn't have enough. I think 6-6 teams. But yeah, that's Griffin and I's record. Griffin says we go 8-4, 4-4 in Big Ten play. I'm saying 9-3, and we go 5-3 in Big Ten play. No shot at the Big Ten championship. And hopefully for me, bowl game, I think it's gonna be in Florida or California. At least don't be that game that's taking place at the New York Yankees Stadium.
Pinstripes.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Yeah.
And then Wisconsin's just gonna slaughter the U. Wisconsin's gonna go back and just obliterate whatever team if they were to even go there.
Yep. But awesome. So we got some fun tidbits to share with this podcast as well. So that concludes our preseason predictions, at least for Griffin and myself, and the overview. I say overview or showcase of our game against Ohio State for our season opener. But great news coming out of the Gopher football locker room. Derek Le Capitan, a walk-on. What position does he play, Griffin?
Wasn't pretty sure it was linebacker, right?
Linebacker and amazing special teamer, was awarded a scholarship. For those watching via video, you can see his teammates, crowding around him and congratulating him on the scholarship. And then, of course, at the end of this video, he is calling his mom that he is officially on scholarship. So we always love the scholarship surprises. And I'd say it's a great thing for our Golden Gophers. But that's awesome. But yeah, Derek Le Capitan is on scholarship for our Golden Gophers. Then next up, Griffin. It's been some time since our Gophers had a uniform reveal or update.
Correct.
What do you think of our new jerseys that's showcasing against Ohio State at 7 p.m. at the bank? That's that night on Thursday the 2nd.
I'll keep it brief. They're sleek. They're clean. They're fresh. I like them a lot. It's not It's a very smooth design, and it's not too extra. If you can understand what I'm getting at.
Yeah. No, when I saw the video, like I was again, they were doing all these like black flashes and fades, so I couldn't get a clear look. But when they showed it to the team, it's true to what PJ's uniforms have been about. So like the numbers and names have like the row the boat related content, like the other uniforms do, right? But
Yep.
also the black with maroon trim looks very good. And I will say this, I it reminds me of the anthracite jerseys that we wore prior to the new uniform. So the ones that the team wore against
The word against Maryland, I know.
the Michigan game where we lost in the fourth quarter because they just stood around, did nothing our freshman year, 2015.
Oh God.
Those anthracite jerseys with like the anthracite gray with the maroon trim and like the gold letters like for the block M and other trimmings. Like
Yeah.
these uniforms remind me of that, and I like that design. So I think going back to those uniforms are great. And I really like these uniforms, and also the helmet decals being blacked out as well, because they're right. We gotta have a packed stadium and lights out. We gotta play lights out against Ohio State. So I like the uniform finally, and we can stop wearing those atrocious anthracite ones, the new ones that we get. Like I don't like the anthracite. I like the maroon ones and the white ones, but the anthracite grays that PJ introduced, ugh, I just I wasn't digging them.
I like them all.
I know you do.
I don't think there's going to be probably very few jerseys where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to wear that. I think they all look clean.
Yeah, but to move on ahead, let's go to hot takes. Is there any takes or anything interesting that you think we should discuss between you and I, or maybe save if you have any, maybe save some for the rest of the crew? But let's go to hot takes.
Just about the Gophers or college football in general?
Anything can be NFL, go for football, college football. Again, it's hot takes on anything.
Scott Frost is fired by the end of this year.
I'm gonna say before the end of the year because they have a new AD.
That's true. They do. I just don't see how, like, is Scott Frost getting just more slack and leeway than like any other coach at Nebraska? Because
he's the prodigal son.
Exactly. It's like, okay, Bo Pelini can win you 8-9 games guaranteed every year and get you to a bowl game and generate money that way. But okay, you fire him. Mike Riley or whatever, you give him 1 or 2 years, boom, you boost him out, and you bring in this, God Almighty, the Lord and Savior.
Scott Frost goes what, like undefeated at UCF,
and right? he's had 3, 5, and 7 seasons or something like that, or 3 seasons all under 500. Hasn't made a bowl. He's probably like, so what, 3 seasons? So that's 20. Is that 21 conference games? He's probably won like 9 conference games total, and they're all against garbage teams. Plus, I just don't see how he's still hired.
Yeah. No, but
he can't even win in a conference.
Yeah. So here's what I see. As well, and I'm over. This is a hot take, and Laurence may disagree with me, but I think Jeff Braun would also be fired from Purdue.
Interesting.
Because
I would be surprised.
Yeah, it's a hot take because I feel as though Jeff Braun can never get over the hump for Purdue, like at least for his teams, to like get to contention for the Big Ten West. Like I know Laurence views Jeff Braun as like the best X's and O's guy in the Big Ten West, but I feel he can't get it. Like if I think if Braun was a coordinator in the Big Ten level or in the NFL, I think that case is true. Like he's a really good X's and O's guy, but as a head coach that has to oversee the big picture, not just offense but also defense and special teams, I don't think he has the knack for it and can't get over that hump. And I think he's gonna get fired because, of course, in 2019 he had no control over the injuries and the record itself in some ways, but again, Jeff Brom fell short, and now that Indiana is making its resurgence in the state of Indiana itself, I think Indiana might be the better program in that state alone, other than outside of again their rivalry between them and Purdue for that, was it the Little Brown something or whatever trophy they play for. So I think Jeff Brom is going to get fired as well. So in the West, Scott Frost and Jeff Brom, bye-bye. As for the East, do you think Michigan State will keep Mel Tucker by chance?
100%.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Other than that, I don't see any potential. Ooh, do you think Jim? I think the person likely to leave could be Jim Harbaugh. Like I think Greg Schiano is going to year 2. I think he'll stay. Mel Tucker is going to year 2, who will also stay. Mike Loxley again did well last season, so he'll stay. Ryan Day is of course staying. Paul is it what's it, Paul Allen or Tim Allen that was the head coach for Indiana, or Tom Allen? Tom, my bad. Tom Allen.
Yeah.
So I think out of all those coaches in the East, those 7 coaches, I think Jim Harbaugh might be the guy to go. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on the East?
Yeah, I can't really see anyone moving. Obviously, you're not going to kick Schiano out after one season. Loxley, I mean, I would agree with your assessment because I don't see in any situation how any other coach could get fired, and I don't think they're going to be savage enough to do it after, because most of those coaches have only been there for a very short amount of time. So
yeah, unless like the next hot and coming head coach becomes available, because I will be surprised if some of these programs just punt on their current staffs just to get someone that they want, or like the guy that could be there. Because I think it was a Mel Tucker who was hired. I think he only went like 6-6 or 5-7 with Colorado State or Colorado, whichever university. Yeah, Colorado.
Yep, Colorado.
Yeah. But no, I think Jim Harbaugh could go. But I don't know. I'm leaning towards Jim Harbaugh leaving, but I don't know.
Are you thinking the end of the season or like mid-season? Because is it like another one of those he can't beat Ohio State type things?
Are they playing Ohio State for the last game of the season?
I don't know for sure, but I'm sure they are.
I'm going to Google it right now. Michigan Wolverine football schedule. Yep, they play Ohio State on Thanksgiving weekend. I think if it is another loss against Ohio State on that weekend, I think he goes. Either he gets fired or he jumps ship and goes to another program before it gets the boot. Either be college or NFL. You think I don't know. Would he be a fit for the NFL ranks again?
I think he would, but I think any coach who's given the chance would make it in the NFL. I mean,
yeah.
hell, PJ was in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, I think. Oh, I want to. This is a hot take as well. This might be spicy, and I think Wyatt may like how spicy this is, but we'll have to ask him later. Indiana wins the Big Ten East.
Jeez.
Is that spicy?
all aboard. Holy cow!
Let's go.
You can ride that train all the way to Indy.
Let's go. Indiana winning the East, going back to Indy to go for the Big Ten championship.
Nothing better.
Oh, question: who's gonna win the West if we don't do it to play Indiana in the championship game?
I mean, let's be honest. Probably Wisconsin.
Probably. and then we were like, okay, Tom Allen, whoop Wisconsin's ass, please.
We will all be Hoosiers for one day.
Yes. All right. I think that's all the hot takes I can come up with.
Yeah, that's all I got for now. I'm sure we'll get more on future podcasts. So
Yep. Awesome. Well, for all of our listeners and viewers for today's podcast, thank you so much for watching. We're going to end today's podcast, but thank you so much for watching again. And we'll be in touch for episode 34. Again, maybe before Ohio State or after, but we will see. But again, thank you for your time, and we'll be up live again soon. Have a great night, everyone.